Hey YouTube fans, it's me, the Storyman, and welcome back to my latest video. Today I'm reading a story which I made from Chat GPT, which I call Nibbles and the City Beneath the Blue Trees. That's a pretty good title. It's not bad. So remember folks, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and please leave a comment down in the comment section below. Remember, the story is made by Chat GPT, or the voice acting, dramatic flair. What else? Storytelling, narration, and adlibbing were all done by a real human being, for which I call myself the Storyman. And oh boy, the weather has changed today. It's hot today again. Hot, cold, it's alternating. Even though it's most rainy season, there are still some hot spots. So I guess might be times it might turn sunny. So let's continue with the story. Let's first start with the story. Let's see how this goes. Nobody expected the smallest asteroid in history to change the fate of two worlds. Least of all, Nibbles. Nibbles was a sandy-colored gerbil with bright black eyes, tiny paws, and a talent for escaping every cage ever built. It's kinda cute. The gerbils might be nice to pet. Scientists first noticed him after he repeatedly solved food puzzles that were supposed to challenge monkeys. Wow. Yeah, the old gerbil brains are small, but maybe they can wise up. Maybe. Instead of causing trouble, he seemed curious about everything. I wonder if animals have a lot of curiosity. Cats have a lot of curiosity, of course. I wonder if the other animals have that kind of thing. Yes. I can imagine how curious they can be. And weather's changing again. When the International Space Research Center needed a volunteer for a tiny experimental spacecraft, Nibbles was the perfect fit. This is how big it is, the spacecraft, and Nibbles is just this size. The perfect fit. The mission was simple. Launch, orbit, come home. Just three things, just basic. Simple missions, however, have a habit of becoming extraordinary. Oh yes, there were times that missions can become extraordinary. The launch thundered into the morning sky. Inside his specially designed capsule, Nibbles floated gently as Earth shrank into a glowing blue marble. I can imagine how a hamster would float like this, floating in space so kindly. Oh man, that'd be kind of cute. If only we could see that on YouTube. Maybe. Maybe. He wasn't frightened. No. In fact, he seemed fascinated by the floating sunflower seed drifting in the front of his nose. I can imagine the hamster, the gerbil's like, oh, it's floating. Maybe I can grab it. I can imagine how cute that would be. The spacecraft completed its orbit perfectly. Then something impossible happened. A flash of emerald light burst across the stars. Every instrument failed at once. Instead of falling back toward Earth, the capsule shot through a tunnel of swirling colors that looked like someone had painted a rainbow across the universe. Man, that'd be kind of pretty, especially a rainbow in the universe. How cute that would be. What a sight that would be. For a few dizzying moments, there was no up, no down, and no time. I can imagine time becomes irrelevant since we're floating in space. If we move faster, time moves differently. I can imagine moving so fast at the speed of light, time moves slow, for us at least. For a few, no time. Then, silence. Nothing. Pure quiet. I can imagine that's how space is. In space, no one can hear you scream. It's silent as the space itself. The capsule landed with a soft thump. Like that. When the hatch automatically opened, Nibbles peeked outside. The sky was lavender. 3 moons hung overhead. Trees with glowing blue leaves stretched across rolling hills, their branches humming softly whenever the wind passed through them. Tiny insects floated like living lanterns. Nothing looked dangerous. Everything looked new. I can imagine seeing something like that in space. I wonder how that would be. Nibbles stepped onto the strange soil. Yes, how filling it would be. His tiny footprints became the first Earth footprints ever placed on another inhabited planet. Although he didn't know it yet, he wasn't alone. I can imagine our researchers, our space researchers discovered there are 3 versions of our Earth like this. 3 other Earths up there. I wonder if they are inhabited. I can imagine how that would be. If we could inhabit those planets, can you imagine that? How cool that would be. That would change everything again. And beneath the roots of the glowing forest lay an enormous underground city. Its towers were carved from shimmering crystal. Streams of sparkling water flowed through transparent tunnels. Oh man, I can imagine how that would be. Thousands of curious creatures hurried through colorful streets. Wow. Nibbles had discovered life without even realizing it. They were called the Lumeri. They stood about 3 feet tall, with silver fur, large ears shaped like leaves, and enormous golden eyes. I'll imagine to see that sight. Wow. I'd be freaking out if I saw that. Their long tails glowed faintly whenever they laughed or became excited. Huh. The Lumeri had watched Nibbles' arrival from hidden observatories. At first they panicked. Like, whoa, what is that? What is that thing? This is what they said. What if it's a monster? What if it's an invasion? What if it's contagious? Those are the 3 questions that have been hovering over the Lumeri's head. I can imagine, fair point though, seeing sentient life, I can imagine how overwhelming that would be. I can imagine how weird that is. The oldest scientist among them adjusted his enormous crystal spectacles. I believe, he said carefully, it is small. Everything agreed that this was true. Nibbles was this. Small. Very small like this. In the palm of your hand. A group of explorers cautiously climbed to the surface. Nibble noticed them immediately. Instead of running away, he reached into his tiny food pouch. He pulled out a sunflower seed, and he pushed it toward them. I wonder if that gerbil was actually trained. That might be a smart one. My gerbils are just likable beings. We have so many pets of them. I wonder what they're thinking right now. The explorers just stared at awe. This was the first time they have seen something like this. Look at this. Look at it staring. One Lumeri picked up the seed. He sniffed it. He smiled like this. Then he offered Nibbles a glowing blueberry. Nibbles accepted. The berry tastes like blueberries, vanilla ice cream, and fresh rain all at once. Wow, I can imagine how tasty that would be. Friendship had officially begun without a single spoken word. Over the next several days, Nibbles became the most famous visitor in Lumeri history. Children followed him everywhere. Engineers built tiny elevators so he could explore the city. Artists painted hundreds of pictures featuring the brave sky gerbil. I can imagine how cute that is. A sky gerbil. I wonder what they call him that. Musicians even composed a song using squeaks as the melody. Yet we might actually, I wouldn't be surprised something like that won't exist here in YouTube. I can imagine that'd be there, but I don't know. Nibbles doesn't understand any of it, of course. It's just a hamster. He's just a gerbil. They don't have much of intelligence. They just looked at it with curiosity. They just don't understand it. He was mostly interested in collecting interesting rocks. Eventually, the Lumeri revealed a terrible secret. Their world was dying. The glowing blue forests that powered their cities were fading. Every year, the trees produced less light. Their rivers flowed slower. Their machines weakened. Their scientists had tried everything. Nothing worked. Nibbles listened quietly. Just looked with curiosity. Of a hamster. Of a gerbil, sorry. Then he noticed something everyone else had overlooked. Near the entrance of the city sat the sunflower seed he had first shared. It had begun to sprout. Tiny green leaves reached toward the sunlight. The nearby blue plants glowed brighter. Little Mary gasped. Earth plants carry energy their world had never known. They don't know solar energy. Looks like the sunflower has still solar energy packed from the sun. The scientists immediately began experimenting. Not by replacing their forest, but by growing earth plants alongside them. Sunflowers, grass, wildflowers, small bushes. Looks like Nibbles' rocket contains seeds. Very useful seeds. Looks like this might save the Lumeri. Let's see. The alien trees and earth plants somehow strengthen each other. Within weeks, fading forests glow brighter than ever they had in centuries. Like this. Like that. Rivers sparkle, like as if you're seeing like this, like seeing the light reflecting on a moving river, but brighter and full with glitter. Machines hum to like. The sea is lit up with dazzling colors every night. Nibbles, entirely unaware of the scientific breakthrough he inspired, was busy stuffing his cheeks with celebratory snacks. Man, that gerbil is living it up. Oh, it looks like there is. There was only one problem, just one. Earth still has no idea where he was. They have no idea. They just, where's Nibbles? We haven't found him. Fortunately, the Lumeri possessed technology far beyond humanity's. Working together, they repaired the tiny spacecraft and upgraded it with shimmering crystal engines. They packed the capsules with gifts, seeds from glowing trees, books made from sheets of living crystal, maps of nearby star systems, and one tiny medal inscribed with symbols meaning Friends of Two Worlds. I can imagine the hamster was rewarded as a hero. The gerbil was rewarded as a hero. I can imagine how amazing that would be. His species was brought triumph. The Lumeri gathered to say goodbye. Thousands waved glowing lanterns as Nibbles climbed back into his capsule. Many cried. Oh, I can imagine missing that beautiful, cute little gerbil. Including several scientists. Oh man, they must be they must be ugly crying. Especially the one who had first observed that Nibbles was indeed small. That he was just a tiny, cute furball like this. I can imagine, I want to hug that thing, The crystal engines activated. Light folded around the spacecraft. The stars stretched into brilliant ribbons. Moments later, Nibbles splashed gently into Earth's ocean exactly 23 minutes after he had originally launched. Mission Control erupted in celebration. Hooray! Nibbles is back! Oh, that was fast! They had no idea that, according to the clocks of another world, nearly 6 months had passed. When the capsule was opened, everyone expected to find one slightly confused gerbil. Instead, they found a healthy, happy gerbil, a strange, glowing seed, a tiny crystal medal, and star maps that matched no known part of the sky. Scientists spent decades trying to explain them. Of course, knowing our technology is so bad and poor and too busy all our finances spent on killing each other, they never could. Years later, when humanity finally built spacecraft capable of reaching distant stars, explorers followed the mysterious crystal maps. Deep beyond familiar space, they discovered a lavender world beneath 3 moons. Its blue forest shone brighter than ever. Waiting at the landing site stood thousands of smiling Lumeri. At the front of the crowd was a magnificent stone statue. It didn't depict a famous explorer, or a mighty warrior, or a brilliant inventor. It depicted a very small gerbil holding a single sunflower seed in his paws, like this. See? Imagine me as a gerbil, holding a seed like this. Beneath it, carved into glowing circle, were words every visitor could understand. And this is what it says. And I'll read it. The greatest discoveries begin with curiosity, no matter how small the explorer. Indeed, all discoveries were because we were curious. I wonder if there is life out there in space, like just how Nibbles discovered it. I can imagine that would be something today, but that's not gonna happen here because we're too busy trying to kill each other with our bombs and too many wars. I'll end right here, so thank you for watching my video. This is the Story Man, signing out. Remember folks, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and please leave your comment down in the comment section below. Remember, hit that like button by hitting the thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel by clicking the bell to get notifications and updates from me. Comment down the comment section below down here on the video on what kind of story you want me to make, and I will make it. You tell me what kind of story you want me to make, I will make it. It'll be for free, and I'll make it with Chat GPT and give as much life as I could. If you do all that, this stuff will go to the end with a thumbs up. Remember, like, comment, subscribe equals a thumbs up from me to you. Remember, the story is made by Chat GPT, but the voice acting, dramatic flair, storytelling, narration, and ad-libbing were all done by a real human being, for which I call myself the Story Man. Thank you, and goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.